Hi guys, it's Jaden. I'm back, and today's video I wanted to talk about some symptoms that were very difficult to explain and I guess weird that I had when I was going through adrenal fatigue, anxiety, panic disorder, and like my health crash recovery. And I'll just get right into it. And I'll do my best to try to describe them because they're actually very difficult to describe, at least for me. And maybe you're having the same thing and you could relate to it and might bring you some relief knowing that I've had that same thing and I've definitely recovered from it. So first one is I would have really hard time, like if I was falling asleep and let's say I was listening to an audiobook or something like a podcast or something to fall asleep. Now, before I had this health crash, I would be fine. Like I would just fall asleep to audiobooks. Sometimes I like to listen to like audiobook epic fantasy or podcasts on topics that I'm interested in. And I would just fall asleep, like fine. But after the health crash and the anxiety and all the panic attack started coming, and when I started getting all these symptoms, I would fall asleep to podcasts or audiobooks, and I would get the weirdest feeling like something's out to get me. It's so hard to explain. It's like as you're falling asleep, you sense that there's like a noise and it brings you this undescribable amount of anxiety. Like it was like I would just be hyperventilating and my heart would be pounding, like, and I would wake up and all it was that as I'm falling asleep, I'm hearing like a noise or something, and and for a normal person that would have been nothing and you could totally fall asleep, but the state that my body was in and the amount of anxiety I had and the panic, that would just send like, I guess, a signal to my brain and nervous system that, you know, something's not right, like I'm being startled, and I could not fall asleep, or I would like kind of fall asleep and wake up to this like massive panic, and I would just feel like out of sorts. And so there was that. And again, that all went away when I started to, you know, heal overall and recover. Guys, I have a lot of videos dedicated to things that help me and my story, so you can check them out. I've created different playlists. You can find them on my channel, so feel free to check those out. Okay, so the second one I will say is that I would get, like, because you have so much anxiety going on, that the best way I could describe it is I was like, often I would find myself slightly confused. Like, this sounds really scary, and you know, I went to a doctor and was like, what is up? Like, do I have some kind of really, you know, bad thing? And you know, it turned out being no. It was all part of anxiety for me, and it also did go away after I recover. Where if I'm really stressed out and I have a lot of anxiety, I would get this confused feeling, or like let's say I was walking my dogs and I walked by a pedestrian on a bike. There's a certain feeling and sense I get that's kind of like deja vu, where you think, you know, this has already happened, but it wasn't the exact same thing. Like, it wasn't a deja vu. It was like I felt familiar with what just happened, but I also know that it didn't happen before. It's so weird. Because like, apparently, you know, after I did all my research and having gone through this, like when you're under anxiety and when you have hormonal imbalance, like from adrenal fatigue, and it's causing you to have anxiety, it can do a lot to your, you know, body and your mental state. So, yeah, like fight or flight chronically in your system is really detrimental, and it could really bring lots of symptoms that are weird and not comfortable and hard to deal with. So that was another one. And then the next one is I would have these spells where, and this happened especially during naps, but it also happened sometimes when I was sleeping, where I felt like there was like a mini earthquake, or like I was falling backwards, but I wasn't. And it didn't matter like which direction I was sleeping in. Like it didn't matter if I was laying on my side, if I was laying forward, or it just like I felt like I would fall back and I would catch myself. Now this isn't the, you know, they call it hypno jerk or something like that. It's like where, you know, you twitch as you're falling asleep, like you're falling. It's not that. It's like you're half awake and you just feel like something is falling backwards, like you're falling backwards, and then you have to like catch yourself and come back. I know it sounds similar to that jerk thing that it's very common that people get when they're falling asleep, but it's not the same thing. It's totally different. It's a totally different feeling. It's got more of a dizzy feeling versus where you just feel like, you know, you snap out of your sleep because you feel like you're falling. So that was, you know, weird and scary. I also went over that with a couple doctors. Again, everything that they tested on me and that I had told about my symptoms, and none of it was relating to anything like serious. So, and it all ended up going away too when I, you know, again, implementing, you know, really good eating habits, sleeping well, taking care of myself, relaxing, doing different forms of things that makes you just not, different things that will like stress relief, like yoga and, you know, meditation and stuff like that. So I implemented all that, and also taking some supplements that really worked consistently. And then I started to gradually feel better. And then once I started to feel better, I started implementing more exercise that I could handle. And gradually from there, it took like a year and a half. And now I'm definitely like 100% better and beyond. I mean, I feel totally back to myself. I could do everything. I could get angry. I could get nervous. I could work out really hard, and it would not trigger a crash anymore. It's so, getting here is so like such a journey and so like liberating. So I know those of you who are going through the same thing must feel the same, because it's really hard. Like, unless you've gone through it yourself, you can't really explain to anyone how bad this can affect your life. So, all right. So then the last one is I would get this weird itchy tingling sensation. Like, it's like the best way I could describe it is like if my, you know, skin or like under my skin was very busy. Like, it was just this sense of like you're restless. And I also looked into restless leg syndrome and stuff like that, and it again, it wasn't exactly that. And again, it was caused by anxiety. It's like it's like a fight or flight thing where you are just pumped with so much adrenaline that it you know, your system is not used to having chronic adrenaline running through you. I mean, like a short-term adrenaline, I think it's normal. Like if you're running away from a lion for like a little bit, but if you're running away from a lion 24 hours a day, days, weeks, months on end, something's gonna happen to your body that's not balanced. So, and along with that, it comes with all these symptoms. You can't even name all the symptoms. I'm sure I've been getting a lot of comments on all my symptom videos and stuff, and it's true. Like, everybody gets all these different symptoms, and it can be consistent, and some days it's not consistent. So it makes it very nerve-wracking, because you're like, oh wait, but yesterday I felt like this, and now I don't. But then I feel like this other thing. So it can make you feel like, what's wrong with me? And then of course we know that adds to the stress, and again, the vicious cycle that I'm always talking about with this. So anyways, if you're going through any of these, feel free to comment down below, ask me any questions. There's a lot more symptoms that I can't just, think of all of them. But, as I think of them, I will put them, in a video and talk about it again and try to help you guys to find some relief and, relativity from my experience. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's a nice day out in LA, so if you're in the area, go and try to enjoy it, even though there's the whole corona thing going on right now. But I hope you're staying healthy and safe, and give me a like if you're liking my videos, and subscribe if you haven't done so to help my channel grow. And I hope to see you soon on my next video. All right, have a great weekend, guys. Bye.